So I sit here and I smile for a little bit while it does its thing. They're getting all dazed and confused. So here's part of the issue. So part of the thing that's happening that my days are kind of kooky and I don't really know what day it is. So as an entrepreneur, finally I'm letting go of this whole idea of a certain kind of week. Like a certain the week goes Monday to Friday, and the weekend goes Friday at a certain time till Sunday at a certain time, or till Monday morning. And I'm calling myself into a whole new experience and expression of there is no such thing as time. Really, flexing the muscles around. Let's be the integrated spiritual human that each of us is and has the opportunity to be in each moment. And so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So I'm kind of like, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Is it Thursday? What day is it? Because I do a little work and a play every day, getting more into the rhythm of get my play on. And that's important because here in the Bliss Collective, bliss is created. It's not some state that we float off to in a moment of, oh, well, no, I have to get to a higher octave. Oh, it's not like that. It's not like that. Bliss is the experience of you, the experience of me, that I experience of my highest vibration self. Like that's where bliss comes from. And where does my highest vibration self come from? Oh, yeah, same place. I gotta do it. Oh yeah, that's my responsibility. Oh yeah, that's my responsibility. That's my job. Well, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Turning plugs and buttons and all that stuff. So let me back up here and just say good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Valerie Shepard, founder and CEO of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. I have a runny nose. Excuse me. um, every time I say I have a runny nose, it makes me think of that joke about Prince Albert in a can and is your refrigerator running? I'm going to age myself here. We used to tell a joke, is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it. Knock, knock, who's there? Is your refrigerator? I don't know what the joke was, but every time I say my nose is running, I think of those jokes. Pretty hilarious. Anyway, founder and CEO of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And the whole focus is teaching you how to master yourself, this magnificent instrument that you are, mind, body, spirit instrument. Master yourself in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Sometimes our lives bring absolutely, yeah, our way, and sometimes our lives bring absolutely, yeah, our way. And I've had my share of both. What I wish I knew then that I know and teach now is that even the moments that come into my life, or the wah moments that give themselves visibility in my life. Good morning, thank you for being here. That like give themselves opportunity in my life. How I deal with them makes all the difference in the world. It doesn't come from, getting rid of all those cruddy experiences. We don't even have the power to do that. Why? Why don't we have the power to do that? Because we can only control so much. There is a lot of stuff going on out there, and at any given moment, it poof lands right in my lap. How about you? How many times have just landed right in your lap? Exactly. So the best thing that we can do to create the kind of life we love to live, to create the high vibe life, to create the bliss filled, purpose fueled, happiness founded on life. That's not really grammatically correct. We're going with it. To create that life is to really master ourselves. master, starting from the beginning. Very foundational. Who do I think I am? What do I think I am? What do I think I am? So this is the Wednesday morning Hump Day Happy Chat. And this one today, we're on number 124. 124 Hump Day Happy Chats are in the books, y'all. High five. Woo! This one is called It's Time for Jomo. You heard it. It's time for Jomo. For those of you who don't know what Jomo is, we'll get there in a minute. But it's about walking around in a space of your constant joy, no matter what's going on out there. So Jomo is something that's built out of FOMO. So I love acronyms. I worked for 9 years of my marketing career at Procter & Gamble, and there was mini speak on so many different things. There was Procter speak, and everything was shortened to an acronym. There were jokes that, we could have a whole conversation that was just acronyms. So FOMO, you probably know, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. Excuse me, I looked it up in a number of places. Oxford English Dictionary. It defines it as an enticing or interesting event that may be happening elsewhere that I'm not in or wasn't invited to or can't be a part of. And that creates this, I'm missing out, like this anxiety around, oh, they get to, I don't. Look at that. I can't have it. Wow, that's so, oh, I can't do it. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Fear of not being included in something, such as something that you deem from your, eyes seeing it and your mind playing with it. You deem it an experience that would have been exceptional, would have been exciting, would have been, like, yay, I'm so glad I'm here. FOMO has some elements that are related to the others. The others are getting it. And the anxiety that stems from this belief that others are having a better experience while I'm not. Others are getting a really cool thing and I'm not. And others are doing blah, 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 and I'm not. Can you feel me? Can you feel that in you? So I have been working on for a long time now, making sure that I've traded in my FOMO for some JOMO. JOMO, can you get it? Joy of missing out. The joy of missing out. Yes, indeed. And there is such a thing. You have the power. You have the power. That's another Hump Day Happy Chat. I'll put the link in here sometime. You have the power. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, Valerie Shepherd, and one of the Hump Day Happy Chats is called You Have the Power. And you do have the power to choose JOMO. So it's an acronym that expresses the opposite of fear, which is this love of your life, love of what's happening in your life, love of the opportunities bubbling up in your life. JOMO, the joy of missing out. And the whole idea is it's giving you, when you really anchor in JOMO, it's giving you an opportunity. You've made the choice that you're going to break away from the real or virtual or just your mind machinations of what you think is something better over there. What you perceive that all those other people love. I used to have this saying when I was younger, the grass is always greener on the other side. Now that's not mine. My part is I learned, and I would say until I get there and find out It's AstroTurf. Well, the thing about AstroTurf, and right now people are using AstroTurf in certain places so they don't have to mow their grass, and also in certain regions where grass takes a lot of water to grow, they just put down AstroTurf. Grass is always greener, okay? But when you find out it's not real grass, it might change your experience of the yard or the field or the park. And the same is with Jomo. The joy of missing out is that maybe I'm willing to believe that all that stuff over there that I think is so wonderful really ain't that wonderful at all. And even if, like, let's say, even if everybody over there is loving it, oh my God, this is so great. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, did you have this? And oh my God, I got to do this. And oh my God, I met this person. Wow. Like, even if that happened for them, doesn't necessarily mean were I in the exact same place doing the exact same things that I would have had joy of being there, the joy of the access, the joy of the experience. So anchoring in on this, I don't really need to be there. My joy is wherever I am. My greatest opportunity for joy in my life is switching, it's reframing, it's managing myself. It's reframing how I manage this idea of I'm all alone. And this was a tough one for me, so I've got a couple things to tell you. So one of the things about Jomo and Fomo, so if you notice, they're both based on, well, FOMO especially, is based on this whole idea of comparison to others. What they get and what I don't. What they have and what I ain't got. What they're doing and what I'm not doing, right? So it requires a comparison. So the thing about comparisons is there's a lot that can go wrong in that equation. First of all, I'm not them. I'm not her. I'm not him. I'm not them. I'm not that. So I'm not in the same timeline that they are. I'm not in the same life stage they are. I'm not potentially in the same generation they are. I'm not from the same background. I'm not in the same age group. I'm not in the same, I don't even have the same desires and things that quote unquote trigger happiness to blossom in me are not necessarily the same things that trigger happiness to blossom in them. So when they say, whoa, this was awesome, I might be saying, well, I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily just blanket buy reviews. Like when someone says a movie's great or horrible, I don't decide by that review that I'm not going to see the movie or that I am. I don't when I see even, reviews on Amazon. Well, if they liked it, I'll like it. So some people are really driven by social proof. I would say in the Bliss Collective, you're better off not necessarily being driven by social proof. There's nothing more trustworthy. There is nothing more trustworthy. I'm going to say it one more time. There is nothing more trustworthy than your relationship with yourself and the wisdom, the knowingness that gives you from your own self-awareness, from your own understanding of who you are, what you are, and the kind of life that you're creating for you. That doesn't need to make other people satisfied. It doesn't need to make other people understand. So when you get in the comparison, and I can tell you, I can go way back in time to the Wayback Machine and tell you all kinds of things that I was comparing, and I was in FOMO. Well, actually, it wasn't even FOMO, because FOMO is the fear of missing out. So, I might still have the chance to avail myself of whatever that is. Good morning. Hi. Mwah. Thank you for being here. So it's more like I'm missing out because I'm here and it's happening over there and I'm not over there. So for me, I can connect to so many places that anchored this energy in me. So when I'm telling you mine, think about your own. Think about your own. And remember, You're doing this with love, self-love. This is a treasure hunt. It's not a, why am I still thinking about this? I must be messed up. It's not that. It's a, oh, curiosity. So this is where that comes from. I understand. That makes sense. And now I get a choice. Do I want to do that anymore? That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a journey of love and peace and freedom. You're moving into emotional freedom when you go to bliss. Okay? All right. So mine, it was always this. I came from a military background, a very high disciplinarian household. We were black kids in predominantly white neighborhoods. And there were things that, we got some rules, and it was about looking like the better black kids. And the other kids get to fill in the blank. Like one of the things was they got to stay out and play kickball after I got called in to help with dinner. I was in my, by the time I was a young teenager, just hitting teens, my mom was a single mom. My brother and I were responsible for things like helping with dinner, setting the table, washing, there was no dishwasher, washing the dishes, drying the dishes, putting the dishes away. And so for us, that usually meant we went in from playing with our friends a lot earlier. So we would have a time. My mom didn't come out and call us. There was no such thing as a dinner bell. It was like, look at your watch. You got to watch. Take us home and start helping. And so we would usually be the ones saying, bye, see you later. And everybody else would stay and play kickball. That was one of my most favorite games ever was kickball. So, everybody else would get to stay. I got called in. And not only did I just want to stay and play till the bitter end, I just felt embarrassed, right? Like, I got to go help with dinner. I mean, I wasn't even wise enough at the time to say, like, I get to go help with dinner. Like, it was a negative, and I milked it. I was a victim of my family asking me, hey, Michael, thanks. Well, we need to get out and play some kickball. So, which would be funny. I could maybe kick. Someone would probably have to run for me, or we have to figure that one out. The other kids would get to do things we didn't get to do, like, again, single parent. My mom was very frugal, saving money for college and other things. And so my friends would go to Pizza Hut, and I would hear them. They would talk about Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was the shizzle back when I was young. There was no Domino's. It was Pizza Hut. And so they would all get to go to Pizza Hut. And even the football team and the track team, they would go to Pizza Hut after a game, and I really wasn't allowed. We didn't have that kind of disposable income. And so my mom, trying to make it better for us, would make homemade pizza on English muffins. So I was like, the sadness of missing out was the SOMO was I got English muffin pizza and they got Pizza Hut. We did eventually start having one Friday a month. Our family would go to Pizza Hut, and it was the bomb. That I will never forget. My favorite pizza was the pepperoni, thin crust, and my favorite salad dressing was the creamy Italian. Oh my gosh, yummy. I haven't been there in a long time, but that was my thing. It may have happened because you were the younger sibling and the older sibling got to do some things, especially if there were multiple years in between you. My brother Michael and I are only 16 months apart, so he weren't that much older, but he did get to do some things that I didn't get to do. And so there was that kind of sadness of missing out. You get to do this and I didn't. Depending on what generation, it might have been gender related. Men get to do this, girls don't get to. There's still some of that. All kinds of reasons that we may have missed out when we were itsy bitsy, and that still plays inside us as this energy of sadness. It may play out as injustice. If it was something that, why don't I get to do this? I remember before Title IX, now I'm really dating myself, before Title IX, being a part of a girls group petitioning the school for us to have female wrestling. It may feel like guilt and shame. Like there's something wrong with me because I don't get to do this. I remember for me, there were things that the more wealthy kids in my peer group got to do, and single mom, not as financially resourced, wasn't able to do. And so I think for me, I took on some guilt and shame. And so all of that, what I'm trying to say is that there could be all kinds of things that are triggering in you, triggering this feeling of anxiety, this feeling of, what's over there? I want to go, I want to go, I want to see. So the most important thing is you can't change the past. Whatever may have anchored that in you, over, done with, gone. Okay, it's done. It's the past. So now what do? In this moment, you just have to notice. So I have to notice when things come up, and I've got 4 things on my calendar, and they're all happening between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Sunday evening, that I'm probably not going to miss out. There's probably some things that look real good on paper, that sound real good when someone's doing a little commercial video, that really are pulling me, but they're not necessarily what I need in this moment. So what do? What do to get to the joy of missing out? There are a couple things. Number 1, always, 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 in all of these practices, noticing is the first thing. Noticing where you are. Noticing. Oh, I just got triggered. What's that trigger? Oh, I'm afraid of missing out, or I'm going to be sad if I miss that. And one of the things that really made me sad was hearing all the people talk about it, how wonderful it was that they went, and hearing all their joy, and me thinking, I was just reading a book. And when I get past that and I remember, I actually like that book. And then you actually hear the other pieces of the story, like it took us 20 minutes driving around the parking lot to find a place to park. Or, yeah, we got there, and for the first 5 minutes it was really awesome, and then after that it got too crowded. Well, we don't have to have this right now, but these are just stories. It got too crowded, and I lost my friends, and someone stole my purse, and then you hear all the details. Have you ever had that happen? It sounds really great on the surface, and when you scratch below the surface, scratch a little bit further, it ain't all that at all. There's a whole bunch of yuck in there, and a whole bunch of stuff that you would have said, what am I doing here? Why did I think this was what I wanted? It's just old energy. It's just an old story that you're telling yourself. So the joy of missing out is giving yourself the opportunity to miss out and to have fun. Now, when I did that, I had to learn how to be by myself. I had to learn how to date myself. Because once again, and I mean go on a date with myself, once again, I had conjured some stories about being by myself in a restaurant means fill in the blank. What does it mean for you? For me, it meant I'm not lovable enough to have a date. That's what it meant. I was really bought into that story for a long time. When I would travel on business, I stayed in my hotel room. I ordered yucky room service, which I've never thought was that good. Very expensive, average. I've never been in a hotel where room service was to die for. And I made myself stay in because I couldn't bear being out in a restaurant. Seen in a restaurant by myself reading a book means something really bad about me. Who told me that? Nobody told me that. I created that in my mind, in my heart. So I had to learn to take myself out on a date. And I did. Get that? I did. And now I find some of my most favorite times are when I'm by myself. Why? Because I don't have to check in with anyone. I don't have to. Do you ever do the compromise? What movie do you want to see? Well, I want to see this movie. What movie do you want to see? Well, I want to see this movie. Well, neither one of us want to see the same movie. So we pick one that neither of us really wanted to see, but that both of us are willing to see. So we spend, well, when we can get back to the movies, we spend $25 to go to a movie and get popcorn and a drink just to complain about the movie afterwards because we really didn't want to see the daggone movie. So the joy of missing out would have been you go to whatever movie you want. I'm going to go to whatever movie I want. I'll meet you afterwards. Or let's not do movie as a thing to do together. Let's do something else. So the joy of missing out is missing out on the realization that what you thought you wanted wasn't all that after all in the end. Notice what's coming up. Determine whether that's in the present moment. Take a deep breath so you can anchor in the present moment. Go into your higher self and ask, is this really for me? I muscle test it for myself. Is this really for me? Don't think so. I don't know. Not feeling it. Am I really missing something? Only if I tell myself I am. Even if my friends, and I'll say when, even when my friends come tell me the magnificence of the experience that they had, I can do it now because of Jomo, because I've mastered myself doing Jomo. Because of Jomo, y'all, I can even hear people telling me of the exquisite time they had doing something that I didn't have access to or wasn't able to enjoy with them, and feel complete and total peace. I can connect with their joy and feel complete and total joy with them and laugh with them and go, yeah, that must have been cool. Wow, awesome. And not feel, or I'll say it in a positive way, and feel completely content and satisfied with missing out, having missed out. So the practice is definitely what you want to do, is to call yourself into learning how to date yourself. Learning how to date yourself comes from self-love, self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. And that means being totally comfortable in your presence. It may take some practice for you to get out of your mind chatter, to understand the stories that you're telling it means. What does it mean to you to be by yourself? Are you all alone? Or are you alone? Yeah. Are you feeling lonely? And I'm not making fun of that. Those are real feelings, real emotions. I've felt them. I'm not making fun of them. I'm saying you get to choose when you're doing Jomo. When you're practicing your ability to be a juicy, delicious Jomo lover, you get to practice. You get to notice. Am I in the, or am I in the, when I'm with myself and only myself? So here's your call to action. Ditch the FOMO, choose the Jomo, and get on your MOJO. Get back into your MOJO. Yes, I said that. Corny, I know. Transform your feelings of FOMO. Actively choose and practice what it means to be in your Jomo. And when you're really accomplished at it, you will creep back into your MOJO, no matter what is going on around you. Yay! Thank you so much for joining me on this morning's Hump Day Happy Chat. I always close my Hump Day Happy Chat with the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha, the Karanayametta Sutra. You can find it in the back of my book, and and you can download my book from my website or get it on Amazon. The Karanayametta Sutra goes like this. Hopefully you're getting to the point where you know it and you can say it along with me. And even when I'm not here, you can say it at any time. May all beings be peaceful. Remember, all beings means you. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. Yay. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. That's where your bliss is. The light of their true nature. And may all beings be free. Yay! Emotional freedom, not political freedom. I'm talking about free from all the old anchors and woundology and things that might weigh you down in your life. Bliss is high vibe. High vibe means the anchors are gone. Many blessings, much love. Members of the Bliss Collective, if you're watching this on a replay and you have any comments or questions, please put hashtag replay and put your comments and questions in. I love answering questions, and I look forward to seeing you here in the Bliss Collective. Mwah. Much love. Thank you for being here. Bye now.